Merhaba, welcome everyone. I want to thank you guys for joining my channel. This is JCJ, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about all of the madness that's going on right now in the world, especially with all of the nonsense with the Tekashi situation. It's just really interesting, and it's so interesting because people are coming from certain perceptions, ideas, opinions, and so forth, but I don't believe people are looking at the bigger picture of why this is so destructive. So I want to name this video, Tekashi Exposed the Fake Music Industry. Now, what do I mean by that when I say the fake music industry? Come on now, let's talk about it. The fake music industry, you have Roc Nation, Jay-Z owned, Jay-Z controlled, and Desiree Perez, who is a known snitch. She's a known snitch, known government informant, running Roc Nation, and yet they're putting out publicity reports that they're not going to sign Tekashi 6ix9ine, even though it was just a rumor, to try to distance themselves from that situation. It's just really, really crazy, because if you look at it, Tekashi exposed the whole music industry. Now, how did he do that? Let's talk about it. You look at him coming into this situation right now and them talking about what he did, and even other YouTubers who's not even from the streets at all talking about how, oh, I don't condone that, I don't condone this and stuff like that. You shouldn't even have to worry about that or say that because you're not from that. But as far as he's concerned and so forth, you have Meek Mill, who is signed to Roc Nation. He's signed to the Snitch management company, and he's talking about he doesn't condone it, and he's going to do this for the culture, and he doesn't even do things for his own culture in Philly, where they're suffering right now with COVID and Corona, and he's talking about he's going to do it for the culture. Let me tell you something. When you look at this so-called culture, and you look at this so-called fake music industry, you look at the days back in when even Ice Cube, as dope as the rhymes that he spit, classics, Today Was a Good Day and all of that, he's a fake gangster. He was never about that life. And recently Vlad even asked him, asked Mac 10 rather, in an interview about Ice Cube, if he'd ever lived that type of lifestyle. And he said, well, 98% of other rappers, aren't about that lifestyle either. So what do I mean by this? I mean, this whole music industry thing is fake. I used to intern for Bad Boy. I used to intern for Czar Entertainment. And I have my minor in music business. And just looking at it from an industry standpoint, especially here in Black America, it's sad because you have these kids who are not even from that environment talking about no snitching, like Tom Hanks' son, talking about no snitching. He doesn't respect snitches, and he's from a white famous actor. He's the son of a white famous actor, and he's talking about no snitching and alluding certain things to the street life when he's never even been attached to it. Now, I want to make it clear. I'm a citizen as well. I'm a citizen as well. However, I've been through certain things where I've been shot at. I've been in certain situations where the police have surrounded me in certain situations. I've been in the ghetto and the projects and so forth like that. I come from Brownsville, Flatbush, and I've been around that environment, and I don't even talk like that. And yet you have people who are not from the environment talking about they don't have no love for no snitches. You should not even worry about it. You should mind your business and so forth. This whole music industry is fake and built on certain principles and guidelines that lead and mislead the youth rather, and don't do anything positive. All Tekashi 6ix9ine is doing is just exposing that. Listen, this whole thing is entertainment, and it should be seen as such. So when you have Noriega talking on Drink Champs that this is the worst thing that ever happened with Tekashi 6ix9ine, and then you also have Fat Joe saying this is the worst thing that ever happened, when they both have said that their rhymes are just entertainment. They talk about gangster shit right now that they don't live. None of them shooting guns and stuff like that. They may have people around them that still do, but none of them are in the streets like that. This is all just entertainment, and it's been entertainment for them probably for the past 25, 30 years. So what the hell are you even condoning this kid? This kid it's all about entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And for people who really look at him like he was really about that life to begin with, that kind of shows you who you are. The fact that you even got to label him what you label him and so forth, that means you saw him as authentic at one point. So I question you. I question you. Let's talk about it. This whole situation, when you look at it, it's just really funny. You have Desiree Perez, the known snitch from Roc Nation, And then you have Meek Mill, who's attached to Officer Ricky label, Maybach, signed to him, a known former CO who took someone else's lifestyle, snatched it from them, and when they try to get compensated for them, said that they was fake, won the case because of the lawyers and their money they had to run it over, and he's calling other people fake when he was signed to Officer Ricky, and he's signed to Roc Nation, who's run by a known snitch. What are we really doing? What is this whole system really built on? Tekashi 6ix9ine, all he's done is just expose the fake music industry. And I want everybody to just be aware of that. This whole thing is fake. You look at back in the days I talked about Ice Cube, man. He came into the game talking that gangster shit, and Eazy-E was really the only one about that life. You look at other people, and you even look at today, 90% of these rappers are not really about that shit. But yet they promote certain things to the youth. There's certain things that they try to get across. So in my opinion, all of these factors, when you look at the Ice Cubes, when you look at the other people who say it's just entertainment, like Fat Joe has always alluded to and talked about and so forth, and all that gangster talk that he's talking about, and then he wants to condemn this kid, it's all just entertainment, right? It's all just entertainment. And then you want him out of the culture, the hip-hop culture. What is the hip-hop culture? It's all fake anyway. Fake gangster stuff. None of it is real. Because in the end, it's death or jail. I've seen it from my extended family members. I've seen it from my old friends. Death and jail. A lot of them didn't have enough sense to go into the military, get a trade, get a career, do something positive with themselves where they could benefit from it and really, progress in life. Death or jail. One or the other. And that's what it really seems to be right now. So in my opinion, when you look at the whole Tekashi 6ix9ine situation, it's funny. And it also exposes a lot. It pulls a lot of people's cards. People in their 30s, especially if you still ain't in that gangster lifestyle, you should not be talking about he's a snitch, you ain't got no respect. You just don't deal with it, period. You shouldn't even have to say that. And a lot of these middle suburban kids who's not even from that type of environment saying they don't condone that. Listen, you don't know nothing about it to condone. What do you know about it? You're not from that lifestyle. You never lived the life or even having to see certain violent stuff. Even if you were a good kid, having to see violent stuff. So I don't condone any of that. I don't condone any of that because you never even been around it to talk like that. And most rappers, they just been around it. AKA Nas, you know what I'm saying? They never put no work in. They have people that put work in. So it's just all funny. Tekashi 6ix9ine, the one thing that I could look at what he did indirectly, he exposed, pulled a lot of stuff in the industry and showcased this whole thing is fake, man. This whole gangster stuff, for the majority, is fake. They got some real ones out there, people who really put in work and was about that lifestyle. And you could kind of know who is who. But even if that is the case, a lot of them is so ignorant. They going by certain codes when they say there's honor among thieves. There's no honor, period. And there's really no success. Because if you look at the success rate of most street dudes compared just to an average dude who went to college from the hood and made it and was able to think. The dude from the college, though, it's a slow grind, but he's going to have more to show for his life without no jail time in 10, 15 years than that street dude would. This is a fact. This is a fact. At least from my life, from what I've seen. Straight up fact. Extended family members, friends, old friends rather, this is a fact. So what they're promoting to the youth with the whole no snitching and stuff like that, you a civilian, you should want to snitch if someone does something to you, or you stupid, you know what I mean? If unless certain circumstances, unfortunately, wherever you live, some people you gotta take it into account what you want to do. But you should be able to. You should feel comfortable enough to do that, especially in our community. And when I say our community, I'm talking about urban, the hood, like you should be able to feel comfortable to do that because you're not about that life. You're just a civilian if that's the case. And if that's not the case, then certain things you just got to abide by, and it is what it is. It is what it is. But this dude, this youngster who running amok and just, went crazy on this whole industry thing. Of course he's a clown, but when you look at the long-term effects of what he's showcasing certain things. He's showcasing the fact that Officer Ricky, this guy is signed to Officer Ricky, signed to his management company, Roc Nation. And you're talking about a former CO who has a known record of not really putting in any type of work like that, even though he tries to murk up the stuff in his book. And then you talk about the management company that is being run by a known snitch, right? You have stand-up dudes around the situation that's still involved in it for the love of the money, like Emery. This whole music industry is fake. This whole hip-hop thing where they trying to put into the gangster, into the whole type of stuff is fake. Because the streets don't got no love, and they definitely don't got no rules out there. And for the few that do abide by the rules, cool, do you. That's you, and so forth. But 90% of people don't do that. Peace, y'all.